So Oklahoma had a big comeback against Baylor this weekend.
Yeah.
After a rough first half by Jalen Hurts, they ended up winning the game 34-31. I want to know if you think that this proves that they deserve to be in the college football playoff.
What was that lead Baylor blew? 28-3.
Yeah.
Sound familiar? Did you see the Atlanta Falcons?
I didn't even think about
Atlanta
that.
Falcons had the head shake beam or the emoji.
I didn't even put two and two together.
So they blew it 28-3. Well, I'll tell you what, Oklahoma's getting no respect from this committee right now. I mean, that K-State loss must just be like the Black Plague on their resume right now because they only moved up one spot after coming back against a good Baylor team. I mean, they haven't been great.
They're undefeated.
Yeah, they were good going into it. They've had some luck along the way. But I don't understand. I just don't understand how they can't be ahead of a team like Utah. I could see them behind a team like Bama and Oregon, but I don't know how you can't jump a team like Penn State, like Utah. I don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me. Jalen Hurts is still playing really, really well. That team is still playing really well. Show them some love. I think that team would be a lot of fun out there, close. But at this point, I don't think they have a shot if they only moved up one spot after that comeback.
I think they do have a shot. I know the committee isn't giving them a ton of love right now. They really are still harping on that K-State loss. And then what was it last week? They squeaked by Iowa State.
And the comeback from Baylor.
Yeah, and then obviously they came back after the rough first half from Baylor. But I do think they have a shot, and I really think it's going to come down to the conference championships, and it's going to be between Oregon and Oklahoma. I think Oregon, all things even, they both run the table, and they both have similar victories in the conference championship. Oregon gets in over Oklahoma. But if Oklahoma, balls out for their last two games, and then there's a slaughtering in the Big Ten championship, or not Big Ten, in the Big 12. The Big 12 championship, and Oregon has a real nail biter with Utah, or even loses to Utah. Oklahoma absolutely can get in because, and we'll talk about Penn State in a second, but Penn State has a shot if they beat Ohio State this weekend and go on to win their conference championship. Otherwise, no. I don't think Utah would get in over Oklahoma. I feel like
even if they beat Oregon, because they're ranked higher than them right now.
Even if they beat Oregon, I don't think that they would get in. I feel like the committee does take into consideration the television draw, the fan base draw,
True.
and I just don't think Utah's quite there yet. And I also think if Utah beat Oregon, it would be a squeaker, whereas I think Oklahoma has a potential to win their conference championship by 30. So maybe I'm a little biased because I just think Oklahoma's a fun team to watch. I love watching not Cliff Kingsbury, Lincoln Riley run an offense, and I think Jalen Hurts is a great story and has been playing way above anybody's expectations this year. But I also think that they're a team that has a higher ceiling. I could see Oklahoma winning a playoff game. I don't see Oregon doing that.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, if everything falls right, I think Oklahoma would wind up playing Baylor again for the Big 12 championship. So, I mean, if they, like you said, if they come out fire in that time around. I think they just showed
that they can beat Baylor by 3 or 4 touchdowns.
That's true. I mean, if they play, Yeah, they just can't start out flat.
Because Jalen Hurts just looked so bad in that first half. Had some ugly interceptions. He wasn't being protected like he has been throughout the season. So I think if they get Baylor again, you got to watch out because they'll run right over them.
Yeah, and that's assuming Georgia loses to LSU, because if Georgia beats LSU in the SEC championship game,
then everything stays the same. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. So. There's a lot of variables.
Yeah.
And once again, it all comes down to the conference championships. Yeah. But I 100% believe Oklahoma has a shot, and they showed against Baylor that if they do get that shot, they're worthy.